Cancer. Cancer is just not the disease, it's the war. But it's an unfair war. One has weapon and other, the deceased, the affected, has nothing but pain. If you are a cancer survivor, or if you are treating, or if you are having a cancer survivor at home, this video is for you. My mom is a cancer survivor. I would like to share the experience which might help you. This is not what we are not getting outside. Like cancer is the biggest life-threatening disease, but which is not being handled in that way. The required consultation we are not getting. The required awareness is not being created among the people. That is so bad. The trauma, the pain, the panic, the affected people going through is, we cannot say it in word, we cannot express in word. For last 9 months, it's been 9 months since we identified that my mom is a cancer patient, and she is in 3rd stage now. This video is going to be in English, of course, and I'll make the same Tamil video, which might be helpful for our people. But if you analyze, in last 10 years, the ratio of cancer affected people has increased 400 times. Doctors and studies and research says our lifestyle is the main cause for this, but still no one has not confirmed what is the real cause for this disease. There are more than 100 types of cancer, they're saying. It depends on where it's affected. Cancer is nothing but the tumor. There are a lot of tumor. The tumor with pain, tumor without pain. If there is a pain in the tumor, doctors say, you don't have to worry about it. But if there is no pain, of course you should take care of it. Doesn't matter whether it's paining or not, but please immediately go and check and find out on what is the pain. But when it comes to the treatment, there is a whole lot of confusion among people. Nothing has been clearly communicated with the people. The government, either the medical department or the state government or the central government has not yet taken the proper initiative steps or they have not properly communicated to the people the dangers of this disease and the proper diagnostic method to identify whether it is cancer or not. I would like to share my experience, what are the experience we've been through so far. And also I've talked to hundreds of people in Cancer Institute, Adayar, Chennai. So one thing which I've commonly identified that by the time the people found that they are cancer patient, they are affected by cancer, they are in stage 3 or stage 4. Of course, my mom is in stage 3C, while we identified that my mom is a cancer patient. After identifying, once the patient got identified, there are a lot of things. See, as I told you, tumors are, we say like tumor. In the tumor, there are a lot of varieties. They say benign tumor. Benign tumor is the tumor. Tumor is nothing but it's a bunch of tissues, live tissues, which is not, see, and each and every cells of our human body has a lifetime. After the lifetime, the body should die and then it should be completely disposed. If it is not died, not disposed, not clear out of the body, if it's still living and then it's still, if it is growing, then it's accumulated one with each other and then start growing, then it's forming the bunch of cells forming a normal lesion, a cyst. If that cyst, it depends on the nature of the cyst, nature of the cell inside the cyst, and it's been categorized as benign, malignant and invasion. It's a benign tumor is the tumor which does not spread, which does not grow much. So it's a normal tumor. By surgery they can remove, it can be removed and it will not reoccur, the medical people say. Next thing is malignant. Malignant is called a CA, which is cancer one. It will be growing in a faster way. It will be affecting the entire organ, and whichever the organ it is started, and it will start growing and then it will start eating the actual live cells. It will impact them, it will affect them, so that the live normal cells will become as a malignant cells. Then it will start growing, it will completely damage the entire organ, which is called malignant. So it has to be treated very fastly and urgently. This is called stage 2. They say stage 3 is the invasion. That malignant tissues, if it is not being treated properly, then it has become as an invasion one, which will be invading into other part of the body. For example, someone has cancer in ovary or uterus, and it will be through that it will spread across all the organs inside the peritoneum valve or outside the peritoneum valve. I am not a medical student. I would like to give the disclaimer wherever I go. So after, while I'm bringing my mom to the hospital, of course every medical person, especially doctors, has that kind of, I don't know whether that is, it is called ego or it is called superiority, the superior thought that they are good and they know very well, and they, so this is a human being. Of course, though I am an engineering guy, and even I've taken first group, I've studied biology and zoology, whatever the study you study after that, whatever the graduation you do after your 12th standard, even if it's a biomedical or the MBBS or anything. So you are going to, the human is going to have the same kind of respiratory system, same kind of digestive system, same kind of your reproduction system, everything will remain the same. So we will have a basic idea of the human body. When we say something about in the human body in the medical terms, the doctors will get aggravated, will get agitated, will get frustrated, and they'll look at you with furiously and then say, are you a doctor? I am a doctor. Of course you are a doctor. I'm not saying I'm a doctor. I'm saying this particular part is impacted. While I'm looking at the report, while looking at the scan report or looking at the blood report, I could see some unusual thing. So I just wanted to make them understand that this is what while they're leaving it, by skipping it by mistake, I'm just pinpointing and telling them that, and this is, it seems like there is some kind of impact in this particular tissue also. And they saying, of course, are you not, you're a doctor? You're not a doctor. I'm the doctor. Why are you saying like this? So this is what the reply immediately we are getting from the doctors. So I'm not here to pinpoint anyone's mistake, but this is what's happening in reality. I know like most of you would have gone through this. But now I would like to share the experience which I've gone through. So once, my mom has got a, of course, I'm from a very small village in Tamil Nadu and Kadalur district. My mom was there and she's got some pain in the abdominal. Of course, she's a very typical Indian and Tamil woman, and they will, of course, you know what Tamil mothers and Indian mothers do. So when they get some kind of problem, and they will directly tell you. They say, they think that if you are going to tell our son or daughter, and they'll feel bad and they need to take us to hospital, we'll become the burden to the children. Mothers, parents, dear mothers, dear fathers, dear elders, I would like to, I'm begging you, if you get any kind of pain, any kind of medical problem, if you feel, please come and immediately tell us, immediately tell your children that what is going on with you, so that they can easily diagnose and then identify in the very beginning stage. It will be easier for them, it will be easier for you as well. But that is not happening. Of course, my mom told me by the time when she said, and then we brought her to Chennai, even she said like she was thinking, so because in every, we have a tendency like when we are not feeling well, and everyone will become a doctor and everyone will prescribe some medicine. Not like they will not say like it may work, they will say like it will work. I ate that, and I ate this leaf, I ate that, and it cured me. So that they'll give you confidence. While you are weak, while you are diseased, while you are impacted, while you are affected, we will be very vulnerable. Anything the others say, we'll be tend to be believing them. Of course, it's a siren, medical siren, some ambulance is crashing. So okay, we pray for the soul which is going inside. Yes, it's passing. So by the time when she said like there is some kind of kidney stone, she assumed that there's a kidney stone. She started eating some Siddha and Ayurveda medicines, and which has not given her a cure. Then after that we forced her to come to Chennai, and then we diagnosed. Then we found that there's a kind of small cyst inside her ovary, left ovary. We did ultrasound scan. We did not do normal scan. Then we took that scan. Along with that scan, then it mentioned like benign. And then there's malignant. It was not mentioned. The diagnostic center, they have missed it, and it was not properly mentioned. So I took that scan report, and then I met a doctor. She said like this seems like the scan is not proper, and then they suggested for a MRI scan. Then we did a MRI scan, and the MRI scan we found and more than 6.8 mm, 8 centimeter size of cyst inside the left ovary, in the left ovary. And then she said like the doctor said like it looks like a malignant and it has to be treated immediately. And also they said like my mom had a kind of some pulmonology issue. She had some problem with lungs because she was a TB patient long back, like 30 years back, but she got cured, but still she had that kind of impact. So while we are explaining the medical history of any patient to the doctor, we should explain everything, almost everything. So whatever the disease they had even 30 years, 40 years back, and we need to explain everything, because they're saying, there is a saying in the medical, nothing can be cured 100% by the medicine, they're saying. Okay, so that is how the doctors will ask us the complete history. So just they found that the surgery cannot be done for her, then suggested for the chemo, and then for the chemo, and we took her to cancer. I consulted with the Cancer Institute, Chennai, Adayar. Cancer Institute is the biggest institute in entire India, I think, and they're treating lakhs of patients inside. But the experience what we had is a very bad experience what we had. They have 2 sections anywhere, any government sectors hospitals you go, there will be 2 sections. One is the payment section, other one is the non-payment section. Since my mom is from the village and she is a farmer, we are from the agriculture family, and they consider they categorized us as a poor, and then they just made us to be with that government insurance card, and then they gave us a free treatment. Free treatment means like the consultation will be free, the medicine which we have to buy, we need to pay and get it. For surgery, and they'll be taking 40% of the money from the policy insurance card, and rest of the money we need to pay out of the pocket. That is how it is. But thing is that they told me, the first doctor which I consulted, they already told me that my mom is already in a very critical position, that she has to be treated properly immediately. But that's what we told them. But they took around more than 2 months, 10 days, around 70 days they took. They did a whole lot of tests, blood test, CA 125 test, they took ultrasound, they took CT scan, they took means like they'll give you the prescription, you need to scan outside, you need to give them the report. They ask me every time when I go to hospital, we need to take a COVID test. At that time the COVID was very, the spread was very heavy. Like in November, last year November 2021. So we've been going through this for a long time, and we need to, for a small blood test, if we reach 8 o'clock in the morning, and it will take around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock while finish off the one test and then come back. That is how we spend time. Almost 2 months we spent. They started with the blood test, urine test, and then they did USG, CT, MRI, and pulmonology PFT test, and then cardiology test, and for the surgery plan, and they asked for the anesthetic opinion, everything, and colonoscopy, endoscopy. Colonoscopy, like they'll put it inside your sigmoid colon, and they just analyze. They send a camera from the bottom, and that is how it's gone. It's been 2 months. And we've been crying. My mom was already suffering by pain, and they said surgery date was given me. They gave me the surgery date on 14th of December. Then all of a sudden they said there was no doctors, and all the doctors are on leave, as in Corona doctors are afraid to come to hospital. Then no one has come for 15 days. They said after 15 days your surgery will be planned. Then waited for 15 days again. Then we did all the tests again. Every 7 days once we need to take the Corona test, COVID test. We took a COVID test every time, and then we just gave them. Then when we go again, they said doctors are not available, the slots are not available, already it's booked. Some people will be crying. 1,000. If you go inside, if you are cursed enough, if you are seriously don't have a good luck, you will be going there every day. You can see alone thousands of people coming and going and crying. The people will be standing in the queue and they'll be crying. But the response of the nurse, response of the attenders, response of the doctors will be very, very negligent. They are very negligent, and they are very indifferent, we can say. And they'll openly tell you that it will take time here in government hospital. If you want that to be treated quickly, and then go to private hospital. They don't have rights to say that. And after taking your time, after doing all this diagnostic procedure for 2 months, they'll easily tell you that if you urgent me, then after 2 months we'll say, doctor, it's already 2 months, and then if you're going to drag it again, then it may go bigger. Then they'll easily. The one doctor straight away told me that, of course it will grow, it will be problem for your mom. I'm not saying, so their tone, their expression you will die there. If your mom is there with you, your affected person is there with you, of course, if they listen to you, what they'll say, I'll die with the pain instead of being here and then listening all this bullshit, and then see, my mom is sitting next to me, and then doctor straight away say that. What do you want me to say? Of course, it's late. There's no doctors. For you, the doctor will come and get infected by corona, you think? Doctors are in leave. We cannot say anything. She looked at me and told me that. What do I say? There is, I think the doctor's name, it's a Sri Priya something, from oncology, gynecology department. She told me straight away, doctor, it's been 2.5 months now, and you have not identified anything, but you've done all the tests. None of the tests told you, none of the tests given you the proper result. I said, so of course, see, we done test, we have not yet come to the conclusion. It will take time. You're not the only patient. There are thousands of people here. Friends, let me tell you, I've talked to hundreds of people there. There are a lot of people have just walked out from the surgery, after they got appointed, and they admitted after admitted for the surgery, they were going through some kind of trauma like that. They were ill-treated. They were not treated respectively. So because of that, the people from the our village people, how they what they expect. Even though they were suffering, even though they had gone through, they've been going through the very severe pain. And they said, I met one of the infected lady. She told me that my husband died here because my husband is a village leader. We say Natamai, village leader there, and he lived like a king there in my village. They treated him like a slave. Then he got agitated. He just pulled all the IV and then the trips which was running, and then pulled out, and he just walked away. He got auto. He went to village there from Theni. Then he died over there. There are hell a lot of stories, like that. So that's what they told me. When, at the time when they said like, we cannot, there's no doctors and we cannot treat. If you want, you go to the payment section. I said like, I'm ready to go for the payment section. Then they're saying that after doing all this procedure, and if you're going to payment section, they will doubt us. Then we will be answerable to the management why this patient is all of a sudden transferred to payment section, why you have not transferred him in the very beginning. Then they said like, we cannot treat her. All of a sudden they just given up almost. Then I came out, I met another gynec outside, then I did a biopsy, I admitted my mom, then I did a diagnostic laparotomy. In diagnostic laparotomy, like they'll be taking the piece of tissues, then analyzing it, then you'll get a reply in, it'll take around 3 to 4 days. It'll go to Pune researching center, then you'll get the reply. In that reply only we came to know that it is a cancer, CA. My mom is in 3rd stage. Then with that report, I went back to, within 4 days, I identified it. I identified that my mom is a CA patient. She's in the 3rd stage. And with that report, that doctor who operated my mom, he practiced in a cancer institute with his name, and everyone worked there were aware of him. I told him like, see, this was a report taken by the doctor. See this. Then they all got shocked. Is it so? So Dr. X say this? Really? Okay, then she has to be treated immediately. Then they said, I asked him whether will you take care of the surgery? She said like, yes, we'll take care. So they said like, then when will I get the slot? They said like, she'll be getting slot in after 30 days. So you saying that it's very urgent, very crucial. Now you're saying that it's you'll be able to give slot for another after 1 month. Then of course, sir, what we can do? Then with all this history, then I called one of our investigation journalism, who is that, Nakiran. I contacted Nakiran office. I contacted one of the dedicated Nakiran reporter for this. His name is Arivu or Anbu something. I told him all this scenario. He said like, I'll come one day, then we just give me all the proof and what all the things they have done, then we'll file a case against them. At least we'll write an article against them. I said like, I'm a blogger, I'm a writer, I'll write our article, please publish it. That's what I told them. Then that guy just went offline. I keep calling him, he has not responded. Then I sent him a voice message that say, I'm a YouTuber and I'm a writer too. I'll write it and give it to you. So what's the problem with that? Straight away that guy told me that. So it will become a big problem, because like Nakiran is supporting DMK, then they're going to reveal something like this, then it may impact the ruling party. So that might be the reason. I don't know what is the reason behind it. But I heard then after when I talked to the other journalists, some journalist friends are there, and when I talked to them, they said like, no, sir, it will not work like that, because Nakiran will not do without any benefits. If they don't get any political or financial benefits, they won't write any article. That is how they've been working. I don't know, because I trust, because I told them, while I called them, I'm a very big fan of Nakiran Kobal Annachi. I'm very much, I'm very inspired of him. I'm big inspiration. He's a big inspiration for me. And then I told everything. But after hearing this story, every corner, I'm just sharing my experience, what I've gone through. Every corner was a it's a dead end. Because instead of saying dead end, it's a deadly ends, what I faced. So then after that, I left that idea. Then I started treating my mother. Then the surgery, whoever the surgeon who did the biopsy, and he said like, he'll take care of my mom. Then he brought me to the Murugan Hospital from Keelpark. There, and my mom was given 2 cycles of chemo. And after 2 cycles, my mom got severe pain and she couldn't tolerate the chemo. And my mom said, no, I cannot go through any more chemo. But thing is that I was requesting, but the bad part, everything was going very good. Everything, the doctor gave me the proper medicines, gave her the proper medicines, and she felt good. And after, her quality of life slowly improved. And we felt happy that after one cycle of chemo and she'll be operated, then he gave the confirmation that your mom will live happily and good. We will lead a very quality life for another 10 years. That's what the confirmation he gave me. That's why we shifted her there. We shifted there and everything went well. But thing is that whenever after the chemotherapy, and my mom, she was going through so much of pain, so much of the entire body was paining her. She was losing hair completely every day, and this much of hair she'll be losing, and she'll be taking the hair out, and then she'll be crying alone, and the entire body will be paining, her bones will be paining. While we calling doctor for the consultation, in one word he'll send a message that admit her. But he knows very well that, and he can just prescribe a medicine. But after I followed him with him for a very long time. Then he sent a medicine and give this painkiller. Then after that we gave her a painkiller. Then she survived. Every time it went like that, and every time we need to run behind the doctor for remediation for the pain. So that is how it went. And after that, my mom again, like that, the other man, I said, like, my mom, he lost the, she lost the confidence, she lost the trust on medication. Then she said, like, why you're paying in lakhs, but still you're running behind the doctors, running behind everyone. No one is really not taking care of me. No one is giving me one supportive word. That is what, see, more than anything, more than the medicine, more than anything. So any CA patient, any cancer, any patient, doesn't matter whether it's a cancer or AIDS or anything. So the confident, the one you just console them, be with them, give them the supportive words. Instead of, as a son, instead of giving her the hope, if the doctor giving her the hope, it will be totally different. That's what the psychiatrists say. Psychiatrists say, just give them the hope. There are a lot of histories. There is one girl, and the girl name, I don't know, I forgot her name, and she was declared she'll be died in 7 days, but she lived for 10 years after that because of her confidence. Then in the entire 10 years, she used to write letters to every cancer survivor, and she's from UK, I think. It's a history. It's an incidental history. It happened very recently, and then but not by the medicine, just by the confidence she lived. But that is what the confidence we begging from the doctors to be given to the patients, to be given to the deceased, but which is not happening. But that's why I'm always I'm always roaring. I'm always shouting that I'm always making noise against voice against medical industry, that the medical is not at all a service industry. Anywhere you go, doesn't matter it's a public sector, private sector, and they treat you like you're just kind of slave to them, you're nothing to them. Though doesn't matter whether you pay money or not, unless you are a very authentic and authorized person and you have a good social image, very good social image, if something happens to you, you'll be answerable to the thousands of people, and they won't treat you like a patient at all. That is what happening in reality. So after going through all these things, my mom quit the medication after 2 chemo cycles. She just went back to native, and she stayed there, and she just wanted to have some kind of alternate medicines. Then we started giving her some homeo medicine. Some homeo medicine, of course, gave her a good stamina, good. It just recovered her quickly from the whatever the side effects she was going through by allopathy medicine, for the chemo medicine. Of course, it was a very, very, very good medicine, but it could not control the CA again. And after 4 months now, and we took a scan recently. Again, it has grown to the. Of course, after the 2 cycles of chemo, the size of the cyst, the size of the lesion, mass lesion was reduced almost 70% was reduced. In every diagnostic center, they used to ask me that, and where you are treating her, how it's been reduced so much, and we were happy. But thing is that we couldn't find out, we couldn't analyze whether it has happened because of the homeo or because of the chemo. But after having the homeo medicines, the lesion has become bigger now, so we are just running for the treatment. So again, just we are just starting the chemo with the doctor, and I'll share you the rest of the medical history, what we are going through. But thing is that what I request from parents, from deceased ones, so whatever the pain you have, please immediately inform to your caretaker, anyone who it may be your son, your daughter, your wife, your husband, your